Welcome to the Mind Shelf. If you're here, you're likely hungry for something more, the drive to achieve. Today we dive into Success Doesn't Come Easy, Best Motivational Quotes Ever. Life's greatest rewards often demand our deepest efforts. Join us as we explore a powerful collection of quotes that highlight the dedication, resilience, and unwavering spirit required to achieve true success. Get ready to be inspired and fuel your journey to greatness. 1. If you talk about it, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But if you schedule it, it's real. This quote reminds us that a goal transitions from a mere thought to a tangible reality only when you commit to it with a concrete plan and specific action steps. Execution turns possibility into actuality. 2. No matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress, you are still way ahead of everyone who isn't trying. Here's what that really means. Any effort, regardless of its imperfections or speed, is always superior to inaction. Simply making an attempt puts you ahead of those who never start. 3. Where focus goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, whatever you're focusing on grows. In other words, your life is controlled by what you focus on. That's why you need to focus on where you want to go, not on what you fear. When you next find yourself in a state of uncertainty, resist your fear, shift your focus toward where you want to go, and your actions will take you in that direction. This quote reminds us that your life's direction is powerfully determined by your focus. By consciously directing your attention towards your aspirations and away from your fears, you align your actions to achieve your desired outcomes. 4. People who fail focus on what they will have to go through. People who succeed focus on what it will feel like at the end. Here's what that really means. The difference between success and failure often lies in mindset. Unsuccessful people dwell on the struggle, while successful individuals are motivated by the positive end result. 5. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. Action is power. This quote reminds us that information itself isn't inherently impactful. Its true power is unlocked only when it is actively applied and transformed into concrete deeds. Knowing is not enough. Doing is everything. 6. Learn to convert the discomfort of discipline into the satisfaction of personal growth. Here's what that really means. Embrace the temporary difficulty of self-discipline as a pathway to long-term fulfillment and meaningful personal development. Reframe effort as progress. 7. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. This quote reminds us that the sole barrier to achieving any goal is the failure to take the crucial first step. Any journey becomes possible once it's started. 8. Don't limit your challenges, challenge your limits. Each day we must strive for constant and never-ending improvement. Here's what that really means. Instead of avoiding difficulties, actively push against your perceived boundaries. Continuous self-improvement and embracing challenges are key to growth. 9. There are no failures, only outcomes. As long as I learn something, I am succeeding. This quote reminds us that view setbacks not as defeats, but as opportunities for learning. If you gain knowledge from an experience, even a negative one, it contributes to your overall success. 10. Your thoughts really, truly shape everything in your life that you feel and experience. Here's what that really means. Your internal mindset and beliefs profoundly influence your perceptions and emotional reality. What you think directly impacts your lived experience. 11. It's not about the goal. It's about growing to become the person that can accomplish that goal. This quote reminds us that the true value of pursuing a goal lies not just in achieving the objective, but in the personal transformation and development that occurs during the journey. The process of becoming is more important than the destination. 12. The way we communicate with others and with ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. Here's what that really means. The effectiveness of your interactions with others and, crucially, your internal self-talk
fundamentally shapes your life experience and overall well-being. 13. In life, never spend more than 10% of your time on the problem and spend at least 90% of your time on the solution. This quote reminds us that dedicate the vast majority of your energy and time to finding answers and taking action rather than dwelling excessively on identifying or lamenting problems. Focus on remedies, not just issues. 14. My teacher Jim Rohn taught me a simple principle. Every day, stand guard at the door of your mind, and you alone decide what thoughts and beliefs you let into your life, for they will shape whether you feel rich or poor, cursed or blessed. Here's what that really means. You have complete control over your thoughts and beliefs, and this mental discipline is crucial because your internal narrative directly determines your perception of your life circumstances. 15. The best way to get a better answer is to start asking a better question. This quote reminds us that the quality of your solutions directly correlates with the quality of your inquiries. Well-formulated questions lead to deeper insights and more effective responses. 16. We will act consistently with our view of who we truly are, whether that view is accurate or not. Here's what that really means. Our behaviors are always in alignment with our self-perception, regardless of whether that self-image is correct. To change actions, you often need to change your self-belief. 17. When you know what's most important to you, making a decision is quite simple. Most people, though, are unclear about what's most important in their lives, and thus decision-making becomes a form of internal torture. This quote reminds us that clarity about your core values simplifies decision-making. Lacking a clear sense of priorities leads to indecision and inner turmoil.
18. In order to take our lives to the next level, we must realize that the same pattern of thinking that has gotten us to where we are now will not get us to where we want to go. Here's what that really means. To achieve significant personal growth, you must adopt new mindsets and approaches, recognizing that past thinking patterns, while effective for current circumstances, won't suffice for future aspirations. 19. Winners take imperfect action, while losers are still perfecting the plan. This quote reminds us that successful individuals prioritize taking decisive, even if flawed, steps, while those who fail often get stuck in endless planning and refinement without execution. Action beats perfectionism. 20. You see, in life, lots of people know what to do, but few people actually do what they know. Knowing is not enough. You must take action. Here's what that really means. Theoretical knowledge is widespread, but true effectiveness comes from actively implementing what you know. Information without execution lacks power. 21. By changing nothing, nothing changes. This quote reminds us that to achieve different outcomes, you must fundamentally alter your behaviors or circumstances. Remaining stagnant will only yield the same results. 22. Who you spend time with is who you become. Here's what that really means. Your character, perspectives, and habits are significantly influenced by the people with whom you regularly associate. Your social environment shapes your identity. 23. The only thing keeping you from what you want is your story about why you can't have it. This quote reminds us that your biggest obstacle to achieving your desires is often your own limiting beliefs or self-defeating narratives. Overcome internal resistance. 24. There is always room in your life for thinking bigger, pushing limits, and imagining the impossible. Here's what that really means. You always have the capacity to expand your aspirations, challenge boundaries, and envision extraordinary possibilities. Don't constrain your potential. 25. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. This quote reminds us that repeating the same actions will inevitably lead to the same results.
To achieve different outcomes, you must change your approach. 26. Life is a gift, and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and responsibility to give something back by becoming more. Here's what that really means. Life is a precious chance to grow, develop, and contribute meaningfully, using its opportunities to improve yourself and positively impact the world.
27. All growth starts at the end of your comfort zone. This quote reminds us that personal and intellectual development occurs only when you venture beyond familiar routines and challenge yourself in new and sometimes uncomfortable ways. 28. Change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. Here's what that really means. People are motivated to alter their circumstances only when the discomfort of their current situation outweighs the perceived difficulty of making a transition. Motivation comes from acute dissatisfaction. 29. It's pretty simple. The action you take will determine the results you achieve. This quote reminds us that your accomplishments are a direct consequence of your efforts and decisions. Your actions are the primary drivers of your outcomes. 30. You want to change your life? Control the only thing you can control, the meaning you give something. Here's what that really means. To transform your life, focus on reinterpreting events and experiences as your personal perception and meaning-making are the only aspects you can truly command. 31. The ultimate success formula. 1. Decide what you want. Be precise. Clarity is power. 2. Take action, because desire is not enough. 3. Notice what's working or not. You don't want to continue to expend energy on an approach that's worthless. 4. Change your approach until you achieve what you want. Flexibility gives you the power to create a new approach and a new result. This quote reminds us that achieving success involves a clear vision, consistent action, diligent observation of results, and flexible adaptation of methods until your goal is realized. It's a cyclical process of clarity, action, assessment, and adjustment. 32. Excitement must lead to immediate action, or you will lose the power of momentum. More dreams die because we failed to seize the moment. Do it now. Here's what that really means. Act quickly on initial enthusiasm, as delaying risks losing the motivating force that propels dreams into reality. Procrastination kills potential. 33. Without gratitude and appreciation for what you already have, you'll never know true fulfillment. This quote reminds us that genuine and lasting contentment comes from acknowledging and valuing your current blessings, rather than constantly yearning for more. Appreciation is key to fulfillment. 34. Frustration is a very positive sign. It means that the solution to your problem is within range, but what you're currently doing isn't working, and you need to change your approach in order to achieve your goal. Here's what that really means. Feeling frustrated indicates you're close to a solution, but your current method is ineffective. It's a signal to pivot your strategy to reach your objective. 35. There are many people who live in what I call no man's land, a place where you're not really happy, but you're not unhappy enough to do anything about it. That's a dangerous place. It's a place where people numb themselves to their dreams. It's where they dismiss hope and accept what's in front of them instead of driving toward what they really want in life. This quote reminds us that being stuck in comfortable mediocrity is a dangerous state that dulls ambition and prevents people from pursuing true happiness and their deepest desires. Apathy can be more harmful than clear unhappiness. 36. The best way to deal with procrastination is to postpone it. This quote reminds us that this is a humorous, paradoxical approach to procrastination, suggesting that by postponing the act of delaying, you can effectively trick yourself into getting things done. 37. Your destiny is determined by your decisions. Here's what that really means. Your future path and ultimate outcomes are a direct result of the choices you make throughout your life. You're the architect of your own fate. 38. Age is not based on chronology, but psychology. This quote reminds us that
Your perceived age and vitality are more strongly influenced by your mental state and attitude than by your actual years. It emphasizes the power of mindset over physical time. 39. Stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. Here's what that really means. Remain steadfast in your chosen goals and commitments, but be adaptable and open to modifying the methods you use to achieve them. Firm on the what, flexible on the how. 40. Keep your goals in front of you and your fears behind you. This quote reminds us that focus your attention on your aspirations and objectives, actively pushing away doubts and anxieties that could hinder your progress. Prioritize purpose over apprehension. 41. Repetition is the mother of skill. Here's what that really means. Consistent and repeated practice is the fundamental method by which proficiency and mastery are developed in any area. Frequent effort leads to expertise. 42. Deciding to commit yourself to long-term results rather than short-term fixes is as important as any decision you'll make in your lifetime. This quote reminds us that prioritizing enduring outcomes over immediate gratification is a foundational choice with profound and lasting impact on your life. Long-term vision is crucial. 43. Focus on where you want to go, not on what you fear. Here's what that really means. Direct your attention and energy toward your aspirations and desired future, rather than allowing apprehension or potential obstacles to dominate your thoughts. Maintain a forward-looking mindset. 44. 10 years from now, you'll laugh at whatever's stressing you out today. So why not laugh now? This quote reminds us that many present-day anxieties will become insignificant over time, so adopting a lighter perspective now can reduce unnecessary stress. Cultivate a long-term, humorous view. 45. Don't be afraid of new ideas, be afraid of old ideas. They keep you where you are and stop you from growing and moving forward. Concentrate on where you want to go, not on what you fear. This quote reminds us that fear stagnation and outdated thinking, which hinder progress. Embrace innovation and focus on your aspirations rather than clinging to familiar fears. 46. Nothing can drag you down if you're not holding on to it. Here's what that really means. You can only be negatively affected by things you choose to cling to, whether they are resentments, past failures, or limiting beliefs. Let go of burdens to avoid being weighed down. 47. Life is nothing but a mirror of your consistent thoughts. This quote reminds us that your lived experience and external reality are largely a reflection of your prevailing internal beliefs and recurring thought patterns. Your inner world shapes your outer world. 48. No matter how difficult the situation is, it won't last forever. What follows the night is the day. What follows the winter is the spring. Here's what that really means. All challenging circumstances are temporary, and periods of difficulty are inevitably followed by times of renewal and improvement. Hope lies in the certainty of cyclical change. 49. Don't surround yourself with people who just affirm you. Surround yourself with people who challenge you. This quote reminds us that for personal growth, seek out relationships that provide constructive criticism and push you beyond your comfort zone, rather than merely validating your existing views. 50. The only people without problems are those in cemeteries. Here's what that really means. Challenges and difficulties are an inherent and unavoidable part of being alive. The absence of problems signifies the absence of life itself. And that concludes our collection of powerful insights. Remember, the journey from problem to solution begins with a single thought, followed by courageous action. Let these quotes resonate, empowering you to navigate life's complexities with newfound clarity. If you found inspiration today, please like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to the Mind Shelf for more empowering content. Until next time, keep solving, keep growing.